For a lot of
Yeah.
dudes in their 20s and 30s, you are what we want to become, especially from a peace perspective.
I'm the same guy I've always been. And I wouldn't even say I'm that peaceful. My mind is a wreck.
Really?
Yeah, I'm always like, my mind's always running all over the place. It's always active.
You know how you said that happiness is peace in motion?
Mm-hmm.
That's something that stayed with me over the years, and it's something I practice.
The person who's going to know the most about weight loss is the person who was fat as a kid. The person who's going to know the most about peace and happiness is the one who was the most miserable inside. So don't take from anything I write to say that I'm some peaceful Zen Buddha inside. I'm not. My mind still runs out of control. I'm a crazy person. I'm a crazy person who's trying to be a little less crazy and observing my own craziness. That's how I can come back to you and say, like, when I started tweeting a lot about anything other than technology. So I was an investor in Twitter early on, small investor in 2007. And Twitter really launched and started getting big around 2010. Not even big, it was still small. But I was active on Twitter from the start. But around 2012, 2013, I was going through a tough period. And that's when I started tweeting the stuff that I wasn't supposed to tweet. And I started getting feedback from people in the environment who were like, hey, that's weird. You're like a VC, you're like an entrepreneur. People are not going to trust you. They think you're strange. Are you high? That was like a constant thing. And I was just like, I don't care. I'm just writing to myself, right? And I was writing down my crazier and crazier thoughts. For a long time, I got no positive feedback on it, which is fine. It's actually fine, because if you're doing it for positive feedback, you're eventually going to end up doing the wrong thing, right? I like burning my audience. I like occasionally I'll tweet things that I don't completely believe that are a little incendiary, because I want to find all the people who get easily triggered so I can block them. I just want to blow them out. I don't care about followers. Followers are worthless, right?
It's also an easy mechanism to adjust your friend list.
Yeah, if you're doing anything for followers, your followers are worthless. Who would you have rather follow you? 10 people that you respect, that are intelligent and interesting and wise, or like a million monkeys? So the follower count thing is utterly worthless. And I don't even want followers. I only want peer relationships, because follower is kind of a weird thing. Now this person's not thinking for themselves. And what every intelligent person craves is other intelligent people, right? To help things through and to kind of bond with. But I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah, screw followers. Anyway, yeah, I was tweeting, and I was tweeting like the craziness in my mind, right? I'm a crazy person. And so I was just going through my own head and trying to sort out my own thoughts, and it's a complete mess. And it turns out that we all have the same internal thoughts, and we all have the same internal experiences. We all do. We have them in different order. Maybe we interpret different things from them, but we all have the same feelings. So every time I would put out some late night tweet with some crazy thought, people around the world would just be like, yeah, I'm thinking that too. I forget who said this. There was a great line that I read a long time ago, but it was something like, I think it was Emerson. And he said, in every genius, we see our own ordinary thoughts, but they come back to us with a certain alienated majesty, right? So it's just the willingness to say it combined with saying it in an interesting way. So what I realized was that what I liked about Twitter, it was like an open journal, which forced me to craft my thoughts. It would give me feedback, obviously, because people will come out and correct you, even if you're correct. And what I enjoyed writing was I liked saying things that I thought were true, that were novel to me in that moment. Obviously, anything I can think of, somebody else has probably thought of, with very few exceptions. So it was something novel to me, something that was true, and I would say it in an interesting way so that I would remember it. And because I read a lot as a kid, I tried writing. I didn't have the patience to be a long-form writer. I wrote a few blog posts. I never even wrote a book. And I tried poetry because I like reading poetry, but I didn't care to learn meter and rhythm and rhyme. I just cared about the words and how evocative they were. And so Twitter was a perfect medium for me. It allowed me to use word selection and simple framing and explanation to really hone down things that I thought to be true and were interesting to me, and write them as notes to myself. And to this day, like every day, I go on Twitter and someone's quote tweeted me on something, or there's like some Naval bot that's like thrown up a Naval quote, and I look at them like, Oh, I should follow that advice. Damn, that was good. Like, that was written to me. That's a note to self from me from 5 years ago. I should take my own advice.
Hey, if you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out all the other clips we've uploaded on this channel. You'll find a clip related to almost every single topic as long as you're willing to search for it.